Hey everyone, we're back for another episode of Motown Witch After Dark. I'm Yvette.
And I am Mary.
And you're going to have to excuse my weirdness today because I'm as tired. It's been a day.
Mm-hmm.
Day in the life.
A day in the life. We can't make it up. I'm telling you. Okay, so today we are going to talk to y'all about root work. Why or when you should do work for people. Mm-hmm. That's a big one, y'all. I don't even know where to start. Don't know where to start. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. We'll start with what is root work. Because a lot of people don't know exactly. It involves working with roots or herbs for magical purposes. Or it's described as an ancestral form of alchemy, which includes herbalism, mediumship, or divination. That's the African American News and Issues page that I got that last part from. In Africa, root workers were proficient in using herbs, potions, and oils to heal the community, and they could also harm if they wanted to. But it was mostly healing. Would you agree?
I don't know if I would call it root work what they were doing, but yeah.
Yeah, you
herbs used to heal, and herbs can go well. As in anything, it goes both ways.
Okay.
I think anything you do can go both ways.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that I was taught that if you know how to bless something, you have to know how to curse something as well.
It's the same coin, just two different sides of it.
Two different sides of the same coin. So that's just a little background of what we call root work or magical work or whatever you want to coin the phrase. But we're going to get to when should you do work, or when do you feel it's justified to do work? What would you do?
Like, we can start with figuring out if it's even needed or not, though, because many times just because someone comes to you to ask you to do something doesn't mean it needs to be done.
That's true. Yeah, because a lot of times you just need not do fuck shit or put up with fuck shit.
Well, some people come this is why I don't take as much work as I used to, because it's just a bunch of convoluted mess.
Yeah.
And you wanting to get some guy back or get back at somebody, or that one lady who I just want my lick back, all that nonsense. No, I'm not being bothered.
No,
I'm not being bothered. And most people who do work do some form of divination first to see if they should do this anyway. But some stuff off the top. No. No, I want my lick back. I'm like, move on. Let's work on helping you and love yourself. Let's help on helping you elevate yourself.
No, they be like, damn that. I want my lick back.
I'm like, no.
They're like, I can't help you. I cannot help. Well, why not? Because you're on some fuck shit. I can't help you with that. Because like she was saying, divination or some sort of consulting with your spirits is required, in my opinion, in order to figure out the work is justified. If, like Yvette was saying, you actually need some work done, because a lot of times you just need to tell somebody to fuck off. But the problem is people don't want to fuck off. They're like, but I want him to come back, and I need you to make him come back. It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. You need to stop. You know what you need to do 9 times out of 10.
Definitely. Or get him to act right. I need him to act right. I'm like, what is acting right, though? But I need him to act better. I'm like, well, you can't change how someone is. Either he wants to change or he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And if he doesn't, then...
So be it.
So be it. Let him go. But I don't want to let him go. If he would just act right... And you're like, it's not going to happen. If you don't want to be there, ladies or gentlemen, he's not going to be there.
Pretty much.
You don't need work done to figure that out. Or you don't need work done to... Okay, I'll even say, let's say that we could make that happen. First of all, you're messing with somebody else's free will, which is never a good idea because that could backfire, and backfire horribly. Second, do you really want someone to be with you that's technically being forced to be with you by some oogie boogie supernatural spell or whatever? It can backfire. That person could become completely obsessed with you, which, yeah, you say you want that now, but then, not even a year down the line, you're sick of this person, and then you're back wanting us to get rid of him. Yeah. And he decides or she decides they ain't going nowhere, and then domestic violence happens and all this other stuff happens. But people don't think about that. When we try to tell them, they blink. They just blink.
They blink or they go to someone else because there's always somebody else willing to take your money.
Yes, and that brings me to another point, that just because you read a book does not mean you're ready to do this work for other people. You need some sort of background or training or something from an elder in your family who used to work the route, so to speak. They may not have called it that, but that's what they did. Or some sort of mentor that hopefully you trust to kind of give you some sort of guidance. You don't want to be out here just willy-nilly charging people to do stuff that you don't know what you're doing.
But they are.
They are, or they are, and they come up here looking for information on how to do stuff.
Yes. But to understand that there's the other side to what you're doing. There's that other side. There's a payment that has to be given. There's energy, and there's an exchange of energy, and all of this. All that stuff is not really thought about or thought through, or they don't know, or they don't even think it's real in the first place. So I think someone said that this whole spiritual thing right at this point in today's age, some people are saying that everyone's coming back to natural religions or ATRs or indigenous or whatever, but the flip side of that to me is this is the trend. So the trendy part of it is all these folks coming up here and doing this and buying things and asking these questions, and from the questions that they really don't know what they're doing. They really don't have a particular direction. They're just doing something to do something. Yeah. They're not really trying to understand. They're just doing something because it's what to do now. And TikTok said, or whatever else said, and that's the popular thing right now. And that's kind of how this is going. So, but at the end of the day, there's those who get upset with me because I say I'm not doing the work. I'm not doing work. I'm taking a break from all of it because people are coming at me with just stupid stuff, and I'm not going to take your money just because I'm not.
No. And then it's interesting because when we tell them that they don't need work done, they get insistent. They get some of them get angry. because we're like, no, I'm not going to do a love spell or a love work for you. But our ancestors did it. They may have done work to keep the family together, to keep their loved ones from being sold off in the slave trade. But all of this, well, I want him down the street to come to me. No, that's not what they did it for. And people, I think they come in and they want this work done, and they're insistent, and they're also looking to have somebody else take the magical hit for them. Like, they don't want to take responsibility for anything. They want you to take responsibility.
I don't even think they even understand that somebody else is taking responsibility. They just want somebody else to do the work. I just want somebody else to do it. It's like someone coming up here today and asking me between two different candle colors, which one should they get? I'm like, which one is speaking to you? She says, but which one should I? I said, I don't should on people.
No,
which one is speaking to you? She says, but this says this and this says that. Okay, well, which one is speaking to you? And she got so frustrated with me because I'm not picking it for you. I'm not. So it's that not wanting to do the work. It's the same thing of, no, I don't want to sweep or mop my floors. I just want to burn sage. No, but you need to cleanse. You need to sweep and mop. So it's like that. It all goes together. Not wanting to do the actual work. So to sit and do spirit work, root work, conjure, whatever, you got to take that time. You got to take that time and spend that time focusing on whatever that is that you're working on. You have to take that time out to focus. Yeah. To spend that time focusing and doing what you're doing. Not doing it while you're looking at your phone, not doing it while you're watching television or any of these things. And so no one wants to actually sit and spend, let's just say, a half hour. No one wants to spend that time focusing on what they're trying to manifest. Instead, I'm going to have you do it. Yeah. Because I don't want to do that.
I'll pay you. You do it.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, you do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be responsible for it. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do any of it. I just want to pay somebody and have it be done, fix my life, and everything will be perfect. And that's not how it works. Everything in this lifestyle is work. It's not press a button, presto changeo, everything's perfect. That's just not how it goes. No. It's not how it goes. Now, some of you may be asking, when should you take a case? Case, work, whatever. I would say I wrote down a couple of things. The first, we mentioned, divination is usually used first to determine if you could take a case or not, because people lie. They lie, and sometimes that negates the whole thing right there. It's like, okay, don't lie to me. It's gonna backfire on you. It's gonna backfire on you if you're not telling me the truth of what is actually going on. Because we get a lot of people who come in, well, I'm asking for a friend, or I know this person loves me. I just need to open our roads of communication again, and I need your help with that. But anyway, I digress. You determine, you talk to your spirits, you do whatever kind of divination you do to determine if the case is justified. And if it comes back that the work is justified, great. Go ahead, get the process started, do the work. Some of the things I wrote down is first of all, again, don't lie to your root worker because things can backfire. This person is taking magical responsibility for whatever work you're trying to get done. It's like Yvette was saying, there is payment, there is magical payment that's going to come due for whatever you're doing. Some examples of justified work, and I just wrote down a couple. There are some court cases that may be justified to take the work because you really, your help is really needed. Keeping the family together, like I kind of mentioned. We're not exactly in the slave trade, at least not the way we used to be. But keeping the family together, which does not mean love work, because again, no, I'm not going to get Eric down the street for you because you don't want to let him go. Keeping children protected and out of harm's way, and then self-healing or healing period are some ways or some reasons that you would take the work. And I want to try not to get distracted because Prince is on.
That's Terrence driving.
But that's who? Terrence? Oh man, my glasses must be out of focus. That is so sad, y'all. So sad.
Oh God.
Y'all.
She was getting hot in the collar for no reason.
I was getting hot in the collar for no reason at all. Can you think of any other ones, Yvette, that might be justified? I know it's really on a case by case.
It really is
basis.
Most people give me an attitude.
Most people give you attitude
because it's so few and far between that the issue is actually an issue.
Okay,
that's my problem.
Yeah.
So it's few and far between that the issue is actually an issue, something that actually needs to be addressed. Because many times, the situation you're in is because you put yourself in a fucked up situation.
That's true.
So
what do you want me to do?
That's my thing. It's like you picked a fuck boy, or you did whatever that was. So it's sort of kind of what we were talking about earlier. You get a guy, and you know that he's a he's a hoe. You know he's a hoe. Going in he's a hoe. Now you want to come up and can you make him not do this and make him my husband, make him act right? You knew he was a hoe, but you thought you was gonna change him. No, make him an EPO, entertainment purposes only. Put him in that situation. Put him in that category. But you can't be honest. They won't be honest with themselves. It's like, okay, once I get him, I'm gonna throw it on him so tough that he gonna and that don't work. That don't work.
You
can suck his balls blue, and if he wants to be a hoe, he's still gonna be a hoe.
Still gonna be a hoe.
Unless he doesn't want to. And that is just, to me, that's just futile. That's just crazy because you got to keep doing this and keep doing this. Oh, well, he's acting right. Okay, so now you got to work even harder to keep him acting right. And who wants to do all of that?
Nobody.
I'm not that desperate for money.
No.
That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me. Love yourself a little bit more in those situations because it's like that. To me, that's desperation. No.
Yeah, you don't need to read. If you got to do all of that, it's just not worth it.
Or he's in jail. Why is he in jail? Oh, because he shot at so and so, or he had a bag on him. So he was doing a bunch of illegal shit. Okay, yeah. So
what? Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's few and far between. The few and far, the one little girl came to me and she didn't ask me to do anything. I did this on my own.
Okay.
She came and she had been raped, and the rapist was antagonizing her.
Oh.
He was calling her and messing with her family. He was doing all this stuff. And he was going to court, but I think he was trying to intimidate her for her not to show up in court and testify against him.
Okay.
And she was such an innocent looking little girl.
Excuse me.
So, in talking to her, the mama thing came out in me. And I asked her a couple questions. Then I asked her, did she know, of course, what's his name, and a few other things I asked her. And I did what I did, and she showed up. I forgot all about it.
Okay, you did your thing, and that was it.
She showed up a few months later and was like, "Oh, well, yeah, he got convicted. I didn't even have to testify." I was like, "Excellent."
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, but like she was saying, that's few and far between. Most of the time, you don't need work done. Most of the time, you don't.
Most of the time, you don't. I mean, there was some people who showed up here yesterday. She's like, "Okay, I need help. I need something to keep negative energy out." And I said, "Well," she says, "I need help to keep negative energy out of my house." And I'm like, "So stop inviting people over to your house." And she says, "But they're just, these are my friends." And I said, "Well, there's somebody in there that has this energy that you can feel this energy." I said, "So cleanse your house, go through the house, mop, wash baseboards, do all these things, and watch your company. As soon as you feel that thing, you'll know who that is." And she's looking at me like, and I told her, I said, I can count on one hand how many people have been over to visit me and my friends that know where I live.
That's just not what
my
you
home
do.
is my sanctuary.
Yeah,
so.
you got to protect that energy. And protection is a big part of working with herbs or roots, because you got to protect yourself from these people who may call themselves working you for whatever reason. Now there's also, we're kind of talking about it now, when not to take a case. Love work is one. So I would say, if you're coming to the Motown Witch looking for us to do what we call, I'm going to say this word, and Yvette's going to jump all over me for saying it. If you're looking for someone to do black magic, don't come here. No, that's just don't. Save yourself the aggravation. Just don't do it.
I don't even understand that word. That's supposed to be.
I know. Because magic is all magic to me is gray. It just depends on what you do with it. Whether or not you're blessing or cursing someone, it's not that black and white where it's either this or that.
See,
it could be everything.
My issue is that everything black is bad. That's my issue. I just don't like that shit.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that's more irritating to me than someone come up and I think someone did black magic to me. What does that mean? Why does black magic have to be bad? I don't understand. What does that mean? So that's where that rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, it really does. You just don't do it. Just don't do it. Or we get people who come in and they want someone killed. They come in real quick. I want to put this person in the graveyard. And you're like, okay.
So go to the graveyard.
Go to the graveyard. No, I want you to do it. What I look like? No. No. Just no. We're not doing that. Also, it's important not to do root work or magical workings when you're not feeling well. You have to consider your energy when you're doing work for people or for yourself or whatever. When you're doing protection work, for instance, you have to come from a place of strength and knowing that you're already protected by your ancestors or by your deities or whatever you do or whatever you connect to. But don't do any work when you are not feeling well, because the magic will be off. It will either not work or it's gonna come out funky or it won't come out at all.
It's the same reason why you shouldn't cook or anything else when you're not
on your game. You really shouldn't do it. So when you're not feeling well, just leave it for when you feel more on your game, because you're not going to do anybody any good if you're not feeling well. Also, I would say don't do work when somebody's obviously lying to you about their situation. You know, don't. I want to say don't just be out there to take people's money. I know that there are many of you who still will do it. They're not going to listen to us, but you know, you should be on the up and up if you really need help. And if you're not, you're just trying to fish to see if this works and things like that. Go to somebody who, I wish you the best. Go to somebody who's just going to take your money if that's what you want to do.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then people ask, why are the prices so high for root work? And my answer to that would be that it takes, our time is valuable, and you are taking responsibility for doing this work. It's not easy. It is, like I said, those magical checks do come due to the universe. And I'm not saying that we get hurt in the process, but it takes time and it takes energy, and that is not free. It's not. It's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something. And a lot of root workers will charge you like a non-refundable fee because people just want to see if this works, and they want to throw you a couple dimes, and then they want to get free advice, and they want you to do all of this and that, or they want to have your attention, your undivided attention in perpetuity.
Oh, yeah, that was your situation.
That was my situation.
Mary had to give a person a cutoff date. They thought that paying for the root work, that first issue, meant that the next 3-4 issues that they had was going to get worked on too with that one situation. No. That second barbecue bone costs $2. No.
It sure does. It sure does. But, you know, some people just want free information, so charging in a way discourages that. I'm not saying you need to sacrifice your firstborn, because yes, there is a such thing as price gouging, and I'm not going to give you guys a set amount that you should pay or anything like that, because it just depends on the root worker and what they want to charge, and you know how they want to structure that. So, you know, if you want to go to a root worker, prepare yourself that it's going to cost. That's pretty much all I can tell you.
It is, because that's time, energy, that supplies, all of it. So, you know, that's time, energy in the seen and the unseen world.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah. So it's not free. It's just not free. So, what else did I want to say about that? We talked about people just reading a book so that they can charge people. All of a sudden, they're armed with TikTok and what's the book? Roots, Bones, and Sticks, or something like that.
Yep.
And they read that book and they're like, yeah, I'm charging, I got like 7 clients. And, you know, can you answer this question for me? How do I do such and such? And how do I do A, B, and C? Because I got this client And I was thinking, and you're like,
I don't answer those questions. Just like I don't answer the ones. There's the one that the lady wanted me to read her candle for her, so she got a candle somewhere else.
Okay,
and
how
it's
you
like,
gonna read
and
that
I'm
on
like,
the candle?
First of all, no.
Right.
Or the man who got a reading from you, he wanted me to explain the reading the next day. He came back up here. I need you to explain. I'm like, well, I can't explain to you Mary's reading. That was a reading between you and Mary. I can't explain that. Mm-hmm. He goes, but you can explain. You can explain it to me. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. That's between the two of you.
Right.
So yeah, I don't clean up other people's stuff. I don't. I'm just not. I'm not gonna figure out what you did someplace else and what some other reader said, or somebody else dressed your candle and this is what happened to it. Then go ask that person. Don't ask me that. That's really kind of rude, though.
It is.
That's rude.
It is rude.
I went somewhere else, but can you help me? Not for free, but I'd have paid these other people. No.
Or they come in and they, well, I got my candles from the dollar store and they don't burn as long as these. How come?
Yep. I've also been asked, can you dress these?
Yeah.
They've had other candles from someplace else and asked me to dress them. No,
they didn't come from here. Why would I dress somebody else's candles?
Exactly. Yeah. It's amazing.
That's not where they do that at.
It's absolutely amazing.
No. So, it's not, please don't misunderstand, it's not that we don't want to help you, but actually need help. Don't come in here just because you're talking out of the side of your neck and you want to see if any of this is real, or you want to see if you can get free information to go back and tell somebody else, or go back and charge somebody else, or go and open your own store, or any of that. So it's not that we don't want to help our customers. That's not the case. It's just you need to be clear on exactly what it is you're trying to do. And some of you are clear on what you want to do, and that what you want to do is come in here and learn this business so that you can open your own. You should come correct anytime you come to another business. You just should. You shouldn't be on an agenda to get free information. And it's not even so much that, well, first of all, nothing runs, it takes money to live. But it's not even so much that we're wanting to charge you, up the wazoo. Because I've seen Yvette tell people, stop messing with fuckboys. That's all you need to do. She's not trying to sell them this candle and that candle and the other candle. Stop fucking with fuckboys. Okay? Clean your house. That doesn't cost anything. But I need a candle to make him, again, act right. Why won't he act right? If I get this penis candle, will that make him act right? No, it won't.
Yep, I had somebody come in here yesterday. They wanted a penis candle. They wanted to fix it to where the guy couldn't mess with nobody else. They wanted to fix it. They weren't sure if they still wanted to mess with the guy themselves. But they wanted to fix it. So I'm just throwing stuff out there, like saltpeter and cayenne pepper and what else we got? What else? I need more. What else? And I'm like, goodness, that's enough. Gracious. So I'm like, well, why can't we focus on something else now instead of focusing on this person? If you don't want this person, no, I don't want his shit to work at all. And I'm like, but if you don't make it work for at all, then when you want it again, you won't be able to use it either. But right. I don't even know if I still want it anyway.
Okay, now you ain't even sure, but you gonna fix it so that his stuff don't work no more.
And like I said, somebody else today came in with a whole domination thing and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, I've never had those strong feelings for somebody that I was done with. as far as wanting them to go through all this suffering and all this crazy stuff. I've never wanted that. So, because when I'm done, I'm done. So I've never done a cut and clear. I've never done a cut and clear or the cutting cords or any of this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. There's somebody walking across this parking lot that's
looking a little suspect.
So I don't really know how all that works. I mean, I know about the black walnut baths and all these things. I know how to recommend that. But as far as me personally having had done this, no, I have not. So, but to put all that energy and fervor and anger and all this into this about this person, I don't give anybody that much energy.
No. And 9 times out of 10, that's what you need to do is cut that energy cord, refocus. Focus on you. Focus on what you're doing or not doing. Focus on that. That will cut out. You will have so much peace if you walk away from 95 to 99 to 100% of the drama. If you just cut that, I mean, I want you to come visit us, but you won't really need to.
Well, you get some stuff to make your house feel good.
Yeah. Come get some incense and, make your house look pretty and all that kind of thing. Come for that.
Yeah, all that crazy relationship angst and drama, no.
Yeah. It's too much, y'all. Remember the one lady that came in and she wanted his stuff not to work anymore. She wanted to ruin his life. She wanted his new wife to be harmed in some kind of way. And she stayed here for a good 2 hours.
And because she got mad at me.
She got mad at you.
Because I was trying to talk her into self-love, and
she was not having it.
Yeah.
And she was talking to everybody in the store about it. Other customers, me.
That was that I want my lick back thing.
Yeah, she wanted her lick back. And she was so consumed with this anger. And we're trying to talk her down. She was not having it. She was not having it. She was like, y'all need to do something.
Yeah, that's just too much energy.
It is too much energy. And it just amazes me how people come in here and they blink once we tell them that that's not how it works. That's not necessary. That all of this, whatever you want to do is not necessary. All you got to do is cut ties. They don't want to hear that because they don't want to cut ties. So why am I going to go through all this work for you if you don't even want to cut ties? You're going to be back with them the next day.
That part. I said that to one person who came in, and I was talking to her, and she said she wanted the cut ties candle kit, but everything in me was coming through so strong. I was like, well, you got to stop fucking him. And she looked at me, and her friend busted out laughing.
Oh, okay.
Her friend busted out laughing, and I said, so how are you going to try to do all of this to cut your ties with him, yet you're still boning him? That's not going to work. Her friend is like, well, how did she know? I just felt it. I felt it.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. And then their mouth dropped to the floor.
I mean, because you came into...
Because you...
I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. But at this rate, right now, at this time, I'm not taking on any new cases. I'm not. I don't know when I'll do it again. I don't know when I'll start back. I haven't felt the need or the urgency. I haven't heard something that brought me that urgency that they would.
Yeah, that they need.
Yeah, I just
some help. You haven't. You
haven't.
She's too busy to do that right now. To it. I mean, not in the foreseeable future even. She's just too busy. And I'm gunshot now. So I don't know if I would take a case at this point. Because, like I said, I'd have to cut you off at some point. Because I've had somebody out of state called me and wanted me to do work for them and wanted me to be their worker, like forever. Like anytime they needed to, they wanted to be able to call me, and I'm like,
You don't want to be the
I didn't want to
consigliere, whatever that word is in The Godfather.
Right. Yeah. I didn't want to be that. So, you know, I had to say no. You know, I'm like, no, I can't. Or either they called somebody else and then called me back, but I want you to do it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I already told you that's not my expertise. A lot of times what you need to do is seek medical advice from a professional.
You mean mental?
Mental. A lot of times. That's what's needed. I get that people want to do things naturally and holistically. I'm all for that. But some things, if I'm seeing that you're exhibiting, and I'm not a doctor, so please don't take this as word as bond, but some things you may need to see a doctor for if you're experiencing some sort of mental health issue. You know, if you're displaying some, I don't know, some characteristics of something that's outside of my expertise, then I would refer you to a professional. Yeah.
That's needed in many cases.
That is needed in many cases. And then, did I have anything else? Let me look here. Yeah, a lot of the times, we talked about this earlier too, a lot of times all you need is a cleansing bath. Yes. And to clean your house.
Yep.
You know, so consider that before you come in thinking that you need a case worked.
But that's the dozens of people who come in swearing they've been hexed. They think they've been hexed because their roads are blocked, there's nothing working for them, things are going bad. And I'm explaining to folks that you deal with energy all day, every day. And you need to cleanse. You have to cleanse your person. You have to cleanse your house of certain energies, you know, to get that going. And they're looking at me like, wow, but I really feel, I'm like, and the one lady, I haven't seen her in the last week either. I told her, I said, cleanse your house, go through, I said, get the bucket, get the bleach, get the baseboards, get the windowsills, open the window, let you know, do the spiritual bath. I said, if nothing changes, come back, then we'll talk.
Right, and you haven't seen her.
No, now that could be either way. That could be it worked and she's good, or she found somebody else to take her money.
I shouldn't be so gung ho for somebody to take our money, but we see a lot of that. They get, you know, they throw up their hands and they walk out because they can't throw their money at us. But yeah, we do see a lot of people who feel like they've been worked because something went wrong. Like, I may have mentioned this in one of our other podcasts, but you know, I just keep being reminded of the couple that called me and said that they've been hexed because they got into a car accident, but it turns out she's the one that took the wheel and the car went flying. And they wonder how they got into the accident. It was weird.
That's that personal responsibility thing. Taking responsibility. And coming to anyone for any kind of work always, to me, involves first taking responsibility. You got to look at your situation and be honest. Honest with self first. And that's the part that's generally missing.
Yeah.
I mean, well, fuck. I get worked all the time. Most stuff gets sent back. For a little bit there's some work that was really fucking with me. Well, you don't know who's around me. You don't know who helps me. I didn't ask for my spiritual friends to help me. They just did.
They just did.
I didn't ask for the assistance.
Mm-hmm.
They just did. So, things are what they are.
Yeah, you don't know who rolls with what. So that's another consideration you have to take into account. I get work too. Simply because I feel like I'm like collateral damage.
Because you're affiliated with me.
Because I'm affiliated with Yvette. So people are like giving me the evil eye because I'm associated with Yvette. And I'm like, look, I ain't did nothing to you. And I'm not paying you no attention. So good luck with that. Or not good luck with that. So just stop.
Just find you something to do with yourself.
Find you something to do. I know y'all out there thinking, you know who you are. I know y'all out there thinking, I am doing something. I'm working you. You need to find something else to do. You got too much time on your hands. Go get a job.
Honestly.
Go get some business.
Go get some business or get some mental health, one or the other.
Go get some help.
If not both. But, I mean, yeah, all of this takes time. All this takes energy. All this takes learning. So those who want to learn have to take that time. And it's not something that can be rushed.
Mm-hmm.
It actually takes time and dedication because it's an actual way of life. So to get frustrated with someone because they don't want to take your case or because they don't deem it, for lack of a better way to say it, case worthy. There's no reason to get upset and all that other stuff. That might mean you need to reassess your own situation.
Yeah, it's not to bash you or anything like that. It's just you might need to take a harder look at what's going on and see what you can cut out or what you can change. And the only thing you can control is you. You can't control somebody else.
But honestly, think about it. That's the part that bothers most people, though, the self-reflection part, the looking at self.
They don't do that.
Looking at yourself, taking that mirror and looking at yourself, that's the part that bugs most people. That's an issue for so many people. They'd rather point that finger or go look over there or talk about that person than to look at self. And to be comfortable with self or know who self is or whatever phrase we want to use. And that's a challenge.
That is a huge challenge.
That's a challenge, even as far as picking fuckboys. You want to pick fuckboys? They're pretty, they feel good, whatever. But are they worthy? Are they trustworthy? Are they somebody that you can have there in your corner? 9 times out of 10, this particular person isn't. But he looks good. That's all that fucking matters. So now this is a decision that you made. So this is something you got to deal with. So that doesn't mean he needs to change. That doesn't mean that you're cursed. That doesn't mean any of that thing. That means that you chose this person for those reasons. He got a big penis. You picked him. Yay. He ain't good for shit else, but you made that decision. Right. So don't come to me, talking that other nonsense. It's like you made a decision. Admit your own shit. Yeah. Admit your shit.
They won't do it. They will not do it. Because like you said, they're scared to look right here.
It takes too much work. It's to be honest with self. And it's like, that's a hit to the gut. Be honest with self and go, damn, I fucked that up. Yeah, sometimes you have to say that. Sometimes it happens. You got to look at you and be that whole ass grown up and face yourself.
Yvette's good at making people face themselves, though, because they come in here, she cusses them out, and they love them out. They love it. They go, oh, Miss Mama Yvette, oh, you be telling me the truth. Oh, I love it. I'm crying, but I love it. And I'm like, because you're showing them themselves.
I don't know how to sugarcoat.
No, you don't. She tells me I sound like a lawyer because I come in and I go into hostage negotiator mode and I start trying to calm things down and do this and that. That's like, stop fucking with fuck boys. It's true.
I just,
And then they come get a reading after she done told them, stop fuck with a fuck boy, or whatever. And then my reading shows the same thing. Shows them confirmation that this ain't gonna work out. And they go, but I still like him. I still love him. And I tell them, you're not gonna leave until you're ready.
Some people have to love from a distance.
Some people do need to be loved from a distance. They really do. And it doesn't mean that you have to keep putting yourself through the drama. You really don't. Sometimes, you look in the mirror and you might see that you deserve better. You might see that you deserve, or that you need to have more self-respect.
That part.
And some of you are scared to see that you deserve better.
Yeah.
Because you're so scared of being alone, though, you won't look at yourself and see that possibly you'll be better off by yourself, at least for the interim. And there's so many crazies out here. We were talking about that earlier too, that, people are getting shot up just for refusing their number, or you said something out of the way to them and they wiped you out and your whole family out and all that kind of thing. It's a lot out here.
It is. It's a whole lot out here.
Yeah. It's a whole lot. So I know we got off topic a little bit, but that's pretty much anything you want to add.
No, I have nothing. My brain is.
Her brain is a little.
It's mush. It's absolutely mush.
Mm-hmm.
And drinking this weird wine is not helping it. But I think that covers most of it. I think.
Yeah.
Figuring out whether to take a case or not, knowing that everything is not case worthy, being honest with the person, not just taking their money because they're offering you money, which is goofy to me. But hey, to each their own. Not everything is case worthy. Not everything needs to be sometimes if you know you need to walk away, you just walk away. And sometimes it's easier said than done. I know this from experience.
Yeah.
Some depending on what your situation is. But depending on what your situation is, whether you can walk away from a situation or not doesn't always involve root work. It doesn't always involve, well, I hate my boss, I need to high foot him, I need you to do something to make him go off a cliff, your boss or whatever. Sometimes decide to change your attitude about your job. Go in there with the attitude of, I only need to be here for these 8 hours or 7.5 hours or whatever, and leave. Problem solved. So there's little different ways to deal with certain things without involving root work many times, or involving having to have someone take a case for you.
Yeah, it boils down to taking the mundane path first. Magic is a way of life, and it's good to imbue that in your day, in those little rituals and things, habits and things that you have. But be practical.
Yeah.
Be practical. Just know that there's a term that God helps those who helps themselves. And that's true. If you are doing the work, the universe and your ancestors and all that will rush in to help. But you got to do the work.
Definitely.
You got to do the work. There's no way around it. It's not you. This is not Mary Poppins. It's not Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty or any of those Disney movies. It's not. It's not. Where you just snap your fingers and things happen.
Snap your fingers, snap your neck. Okay.
Scudding like a fish.
I had a boom. Oh, that's a song.
Yeah.
Snap your fingers, snap your neck is a song.
I figured. I know who I'm sitting next to. I know.
Anyway, y'all, this is not going to be a long one. This is a weird day here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have rolling dark thunder clouds and all kind of other nonsense. And
Yeah.
I think probably the residual of whatever that hurricane shit was on the West Coast.
Probably.
And I don't even know what the hell's going on around here. One day is 70 degrees, the next day is 90. I don't know.
Welcome to Michigan.
Welcome to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan.
Yep.
So, I think we covered everything.
Okay.
So, we will catch you guys next time.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Peace.
If you like our content, like and subscribe, and click on the bell for notifications. If you're in the Detroit area, stop by and see us. We're open 7 days a week. Or visit us at our website, www.motownwitch.com. Thanks.